Good evening, podcast listeners. My name is Jordan, and I'm here with my mom.
Hello, podcasters.
And today we are going to be discussing brain rot, and I'm going to be also introducing her to some terms that are popular on the internet right now. So my first question is, are you familiar with the term brain rot?
Technically, yes, I am with the culture, but I think that for me, I don't get lost in that terminology. So, but yes, I do know what it is.
Okay. So, technically speaking, definition on Google, it is the overconsumption of low-quality media. That is the term, the definition of the term. Do you think that low-quality media, such as brain rot, has a larger effect on the younger generation than, say, the older generation?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I feel like the younger generation has grown up with technology, and I feel like the more technology that's used, the less time that the younger individuals get to spend outside or even spend good quality time, with friends and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I definitely think it's, a generational thing, but also there's really no, I think anybody and everybody of all ages can be affected by brain rot because of too much time on their hands.
Okay. I have a little bit of a, not a rebuttal to that, but my own opinion. I think that millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha are they're all on the same level of the amount of brain rot, because I think that millennials, even though they didn't grow up with the media that Gen Z and Gen Alpha has, I think that whenever social media became popular, they were overly consumed in it, if that makes sense. And I can think of as many quote unquote brain rot terminology or videos that came from a millennials time than Gen Z, Gen Alpha time, if that makes sense.
It does.
Which I don't know if you personally were a part of the group, which you were not on the younger side of the millennial, I guess. To say.
We're definitely, your dad and I are both at the end of Gen Z, so we're kind of closer, or millennial.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're closer to millennial than anything, so, or we are a millennial, but we're
closer
at
to
the tail end of
yes.
being millennials, so yes.
I'm just thinking of well, obviously the podcast people aren't going to know who this is, but Maddie, I think of her humor as millennial humor, but the brain rot side of millennial humor.
Yeah, I understand that.
Do you think that there's a way to counteract the effects of brain rot?
I would say yes. That is just understanding culture, and also trying to, just like anything, balance the right amount of time that you spend on the screen or social media to spending that with your family or your friends, or just spending time with nature, going outside and breathing fresh air and all that kind of stuff. Just making sure that you're not letting all that consume you, so that you're literally wasting time.
Yeah. As someone who is a victim of brain rot, I agree. But I think too that with people now, it's like an addiction.
Absolutely. I also think too, just as a mother perspective, we didn't have social media or phones and different technologies, so we got outside more. There's literally been an epidemic with kids not having vitamin D because they've not been going outside, and getting that, vitamin D that you get from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so the effects of that are, low vitamin D. These kids at younger ages, they're losing more hair, like as far as their hair's thinning, like, and I've seen it personally in our family, with you and your brother and stuff like that. So
yeah, a victim of brain rot, hair loss.
Well, I mean, you're all consuming, with technology, and you have to have your computers for everything that you research, and just like this, this task right now, I mean, we're having to use technology to get the grade,
So true. And now I'm infiltrating my communications class with brain rot right now, so this is really fun. Okay, now I have my little terms that I'm gonna introduce you to. You're gonna tell me what you think they mean, and then I'll kind of explain it to you, because I'm lucky enough to know what all of them mean and can use them in everyday life. So my first term is skibbity toilet riz. It's a crazy one.
Okay, so for me, like, just skibbity, like, that's somebody that's enthusiastic. So
Okay.
to me, it would be get your girlfriend and go to the bathroom and have a little discussion on whatever news there is to share, gossip.
I appreciate the literal meaning of toilet you have in your definition, and I wish that was a definition, and it's not. It's more of like an adjective though, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. But if you think that something that somebody has is cool, say they just got a new pair of shoes, you say, "Oh my gosh, your shoes are so skibbity toilet riz."
Anytime I hear the word toilet, I think of not fun things.
No.
So.
See, I don't think that one's probably one of my least favorite. It's also used in combination with skibbity toilet riz, Ohio, Livy Dunn's Levelton yacht. It's a really long one, but
I feel like anybody can just like make up whatever they want and say that that's.
Well, that's probably what happens on Urban Dictionary.
Well, absolutely.
Actually, a lot of these actually come from a streamer. He streams on Twitch. His name is Kai Sinat. I don't watch him. I just know that during my research of these terms and their where they came from, where they originated, a lot of them were from him. So I guess he's really popular with the Gen Alphas or something.
Well, let me tell you, in millennial time,
okay,
like this podcast makes me think of like Beyonce when she broke away from the group Destiny's Child.
They had a podcast about it?
No, it just makes me think of the Urban Dictionary, or now the Webster Dictionary having the word bootylicious. Like
the Webster's Dictionary has that word?
I believe so. I don't think it's just
I'm
an
gonna
Urban
have to fact
Dictionary
check that
thing.
later. I hope my professor thinks that's really funny. But actually, I think that where Skibbity Toilet came from is really funny, and I just want to share it with you. So basically, it's a meme series on YouTube, and it's like YouTube Shorts. Do you know what that is? It's like the TikTok version of like YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
And so it's this disembodied head that lives in various different toilets, okay? And it's supposed to be a storyline about the men who live in the toilets that only have heads. And it's supposed to be them versus the cameraman. And the heads in the toilet are trying to take over the world. I've never watched it. That's what my research on TikTok told me.
Well, that is definitely the classification of brain rot.
Yeah, for sure. That is like peak brain rot. When I think of brain rot, I think of Skibbity Toilet. So, yeah, that was my number one. This one is a more recent one. And it's the word huzz, or where the huzz at.
Interesting. So, where the huzz?
So, yeah, like, what do you think that means?
Is that like, where's the party at?
Honestly, like, that's not that far off. So, huzz was like one of those. It was one of those
Spell it.
streamer terms. HUZZ.
Okay.
It's a streamer term, and it is. I'm not allowed to use vulgar terms on here, but it's a replacement for the word that is a gardening tool.
Okay.
So it's a replacement for that. So basically, like, dudes would be like, "Where the huzz at?"
Oh.
So talking about a group of ladies.
Oh.
So that is what that one is. And, well, now girls use it, so it's not referred to, like, just women anymore. Like, girls can say where the huzz at. It's just, like, a group of, like, attractive people. Like, sometimes people, the guy that they're
like,
talking
so, like,
to.
where's the hotties at?
Yeah, or, like, if you are talking to someone on Snapchat, someone will say, like, oh my gosh, my huzz. Like the person I'm talking to. And then another variation of that, well,
See,
first I'll start with
you
this.
Say, you're talking to somebody and you say my huzz, like you could have been
Yeah,
your husband.
see, like, yeah, it does kind of sound like that. And it also doesn't make sense because it came from a derogatory word, but I don't know, I guess.
Like hussy?
I guess. But, okay, so this kind of ties into that, the word chopped. So, like, saying that someone is chopped.
Oh, snap. If somebody is chopped,
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you think that makes them?
they're ugly.
Yeah, that's right. And so, with the word huzz, people have started saying... people have started saying chuzz for chopped huzz. So yeah, that's just like another variation of huzz. Apparently there's also like bruz for the bros and gruz for like grandma, grandpa.
Oh, no.
Huzz.
Okay.
So yeah, that one is pretty interesting. And my last one is actually, I'm between two, which one I want to say. Okay, we have negative aura.
I mean, that's like the energy is just not good.
Yeah. So
Like,
I'm thinking of an example to give you. So let's say a guy, it's when a guy or a girl does something to like repel the opposite gender, like then you have negative aura. So like a guy's walking up to a girl and he trips, and then like, ooh, that's like negative aura. Or he gets rejected by her, negative aura.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I could see you using that one.
yeah, probably will now.
Really? Or like you could also, on the opposite spectrum of that, you could say like, oh my gosh, she gained so much aura. Like if you do something that is like just super cool.
I mean, in all honesty, I say energy and aura and all
Yeah.
that stuff already. So, yeah, I guess I'm in the brain rot.
I guess. Actually, you know what? We can just do the last one because that one didn't take a long time. We have chat, am I cooked?
Chat, am I cooked? Is that like just one whole, like,
You could also just say, am I cooked?
am I cooked? So, am I cooked? That means obviously something negative.
Okay.
Or like, am I cooked? Or when your brother says, let me cook, that means let me stew, let me do my thing.
Okay.
So am I cooked is like an opinion of, you know, am I stewing too much? I don't know.
So basically it's like, cooked means you put yourself in like a sticky situation. So my example that I wrote down is your mom catches you sneaking out and like you tell your friend like, oh no, like I'm cooked. Like you're dead meat, you're caught. I don't know. It doesn't just mean caught, but it just means that you're in trouble.
It's just a sticky situation.
It is a sticky situation. That's kind of the whole thing, yeah. So do you think that you will end up using these brain rot terms?
I mean, definitely.
I could see you using them. I think you're gonna try. I don't know if you'll succeed.
I don't know if I like tried in the context that you're saying it, but like I work in a salon, so it's kind of fun.
There will be some failed attempts.
Well, I don't think that I'll try to use it to articulate it to the manner that you do at all. Because honestly, I think it's quite challenging to believe that those are actually
Oh, it's
words
pretty stupid.
that exist, and that those adjectives like actually mean something other than what they should mean. I
Yeah.
guess. So no, I don't. But this is a great conversation starter for even some of my older generational like clients.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of opens like for conversation to happen. So yeah, I mean it's helpful to
Yeah.
connect this way to understand my child versus myself.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, there you have it. My mom's opinion on brain rot and her new terms that she's going to be using to talk to her clients. Thank you so much, Professor, for listening.